JSB here without facial hair for a little while, and we found a really interesting temple here on the island of XiaoLiuqiu, which we've been exploring for the last 7 days. XiaoLiuqiu has, according to locals, more than 80 temples, and we've been going into temples, just getting lessons, and I'll be writing about that later, but we found a very interesting temple very close to our hotel, the Secret Path B&B, and what was interesting about it, well, if you look, this front brazier is now covered in a red fabric. And if you come on over here, well, obviously it's under construction, and all of the lions that are traditionally surrounding the front door have their faces covered in red cloth. If you get a shot over there, you can see that one over there. And the temple is still unconsecrated, and furthermore, the deities have yet to be brought in. So I'm going to bring you inside. We've got permission. Now, one thing I want to point out is that normally in XiaoLiuqiu, any temple that you go to, you are supposed to take your shoes off before you go in, no matter what the temple, big or small. This is a XiaoLiuqiu thing. Use your own judgment when you're in a big city. But in XiaoLiuqiu, they're very adamant about every temple you go in to take off your shoes, except in this case, because this temple is still under construction.
One more thing, though.
Yeah?
Normally with Taiwanese temples, you never go through the middle door. The middle door is reserved for gods,
right,
the president, and I believe the mayor of the city where the temple is.
We can do this for 2 reasons.
Yes.
One, the 2 side doors are still closed.
Yes.
They're very beautiful. They were just being painted. We came by here yesterday. We could smell the fresh paint. And 2, these are the only doors open. And we're going to see some stuff that you normally cannot see in a Taiwanese temple.
Did you say hello? Ni hao again.
So what we're seeing here is you have the altar space, which as you can see is beautiful, freshly painted. You can smell the paint, but there are no gods.
See, usually the gods where this dragon is, there would be the line of gods there and some on either side, but they're not here actually.
You would have the center part, that would be the main god.
Yes.
They told me yesterday, but I forgot.
We wrote it down.
We wrote it down.
This wasn't here. We were actually standing in here, which you never get to stand at.
今天真的多一点的，比昨天那个发上很多了，对，很多，干很多了。They just put in the front 的桌子。
Wow, yeah, it wasn't here.
Yeah.
They're so fast.
越来越漂亮，也很快啊。
Yes, 很快.
It's just a beautiful, beautiful painting here, and what they will be doing on February 23rd. We've been invited back for this, but we gotta get back to Taipei.
Watch for slippery.
Watch it, this slippery stuff on the floor. We've been invited for the consecration when they will bring in the deities. I'm sure there's going to be an order to it as to what deity comes in first and which one will come in last.
So I'm going to talk about this for a minute. We met the artist that made this yesterday, and I find this phenomenal because if you look, you can see his original sketch. Somebody's texting Josh. I have to make that go away. So see, there's the original foot and the wheel up there and the original sketch. So the artist changed this, and he made this ring a little bit bigger. And then over here, he still has to draw in the leg for this guy and some decorations. And then this has been painted, but the details haven't been painted fully on. So this is going to be much more vibrantly colored at some point. And I just think that's really fascinating.
Yesterday, we did talk to this artist we're going to interview. We interviewed him already. We're hoping to write that up. And he's been doing temple paintings for over 20 years. And he gave us a lot of insight as to what sort of freedom somebody who does a job like this has, and you know what templates they follow and where they can do their own little stylistic, artistic design. It was just utterly fascinating.
Yes.
Anyway, let's walk on out here. Don't shut off the camera yet. So this is you very rarely ever get to see a temple in Taiwan that is under construction.
I feel very lucky. Ni hao. Oh, is it? Okay. It's phenomenal, and I want to sit here and watch it all day, but that would be weird. So, yeah, it's 非常漂亮. Oh, so pretty.
This is going to be the main altar.
So special.
But everything is covered. The red cloth is super significant.
Yes.
One other thing that I'll leave you with. So we've got our 4 lions. We learned a lot about the temple culture of the lions, which, believe it or not, I hadn't even known this. All these years I didn't know some of the specific details, and we could make this video go out hours and hours, so we won't get into that. But what I'll leave you with is one small detail is that gentleman who's doing the sanding told us yesterday, which is that they have not yet painted the pupils on the lions. And I said, well, that's why is that? It's like, because they're not on duty yet, and so their eyes aren't open. It's like they've just been born. On the consecration ceremony, which will happen on February 23rd, they will paint the pupils on the lions who are guarding the temple, and at that point, this temple will be open for business, open for praying, and this will be maybe temple number 81, maybe temple number 90, but definitely over 80. So from XiaoLiuqiu, Joshua Samuel Brown.